This is LSAT PrepTest 21, Section 1, questions 18 through 24, the fourth logic game of this test. Okay, so what do we have? We have that during a 4-week period, each of 7 previously unadvertised products, so G, H, J, K, L, M, and O, will be advertised. A different pair of these products will be advertised each week. Exactly one of the products will be a member of 2 of these 4 pairs. The following constraints must be used. Okay, so we have 4 weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, in which these 7 products get advertised, right? And so each of these 7 is used once, plus 1 duplicate, right? Exactly 1 duplicate. Okay, so the following constraints are what? Number 1, J is not advertised in a given week unless H was advertised during the immediately preceding week. So if you have J, you must have H before it, right? They always move together. Second rule, product advertised during 2 of the weeks is advertised during week 4, but not during week 3. So this duplicate is advertised during week 4, but not 3, right? So this tells me that, you know, if it's duplicated, either it's in 4 and 1 or it's 4 and 2. It can't be 4 and 3 because of the second half of the rule, right? Okay. Third rule. G is not advertised during a given week unless either J or O is advertised that week. Okay, so G, if you have a G, and you know you're going to have a G, that implies that it's either going to be paired with GH, or GJ, or GO. Okay. Fourth rule. K is advertised during one of the first 2 weeks. K is 1 or 2, or both, right? Could be both. We can actually maybe even put that up here. K is in one of these 2 slots. Okay, last rule. O is one of the products advertised during week 3. So this is rule 5. We can just put it right in here. Right. Okay. So looking at our rules here, we can make a couple of deductions here. For example, O being in week 3 means that, you know, it can't be the one that's duplicated. So there's exactly 1 O, right, in this game. So there's exactly 1 O in this game, because it can't be duplicated. It means that, you know, G and O in particular can't happen twice, right? So if G is going to be the element that's duplicated, it's got to be GJ and then again GO, right? I mean, other than that, it seems to me like this one is a reasonably restrictive rule, right? Like there's only a couple ways they can slot them in here, so we should just go ahead and explore that possibility, right? So actually, let's just do this. Let's just put them all side by side. Right. So our first option is to put H and J in 1 and 2, right? And it's a block. The next option is to put H and J into 2 and 3. And again, that's a block. And we know that O has to be here. And then the last option we have is to place H and J into 3 and 4, again with O being right there. Right? Okay, so what do we have here? So we know that HJO, so over here, right, that's fine. K can fit in one of these slots, and then whatever duplicate here, let's actually box it in, is also duplicated in either, I guess, 1 or 2. So I guess we can't really box it in. What else do we know? We know that G implies GJ or GO, so G's got to be in one of these, right? Either that or G's got to be down here, and then J or H has to, or J I think has to be the repeated element. So nothing really doing with this game, right? Or that scenario at least. It seems like that one, at least at first glance, could work out okay. Okay, but this one, the second one, I think runs into problems immediately when we put J and O together. Actually, let's start writing in red. Because what do we mean about J and O? Well, if you have a G and you know you're going to have a G, it's got to be either GJ or GO. Well, that's a problem, right? Because nothing in this third column is duplicated, right? Which means that there's no second J, there's no second O. So where the heck does G fit in here, right? If you put G anywhere else, it's going to have to drag a J or an O along with it. And you just can't have that, right? O in particular, or I mean, yeah, O we knew is never going to duplicate. And so putting a G anywhere else would force us to put a J there as well. And you just can't do that, right? So actually, this scenario is never possible. Okay? How about down here? H, J, and O. Right? So once again, O doesn't repeat, which once again gives us a problem. We need to have a G here, right? Which means that J has got to repeat. The problem with J repeating is that it takes an H with it, right? So for example, if this is G, for example, then J's got a J has got to repeat somewhere, right? Because we figured out previously that we can't have two G's. Two G's implies GJ or GO, right? So obviously we can't put G and O together. But if we put G and J together, that means that one of these guys has to repeat, has to duplicate with one or two. So whether or not if you put G up here, then you're going to drag a J with it. If you drag a J with it, then you're going to drag a J with it, right? The problem is that J, no matter what, takes an H with it, right? So if J is in 2, H is in 1. If J is in 1, then it just can't happen, right? Which means now you've taken up 2 blocks worth of HJs, right? Which means you're not going to have enough room to fit the rest of these guys in. So very much like this scenario can actually never happen, right? So this right here is the way that it has to work, right? HJO have to be 1, 2, 3, and then you go from there. And so that's the setup. It's a little tricky, right? Because if you don't work through these, it'll just come back to bite you. But realizing that that these are the 3 options, sort of working your way through them and applying all your rules, it becomes reasonably clear that there's only one way this could ever work out, and that is this right here. Okay, so let's actually, nope, don't want to move it. I just want to make it smaller so we can, I guess, draw a line here and then go to our questions. All right, so let's draw this line, and then we just jump into the questions. So given that this is our framework, let's go to question 18. Let's actually clean this up too while we're at it. Okay, so question 18 says what? It says, which of the following could be a schedule of advertisements? So I'm not going to write these out, but if you refer to your paper, like let's just go through the rules one by one, right? So this, I think the easiest one to start with is this 4th rule down here, that K either has to be in 1 or 2. That's true of A, it's true of B, it's true of C, it's not true of D. D's first 2 weeks are HL and JM, so that's not right. And it is true of E. Okay, great. Next, G implies either GJ or GO. So answer choice A has a GJ. Answer choice C has a GM. That can't be it. Answer choice B has. I skipped answer choice B, but it also does have a GJ. It's actually backwards, and that's called JG, but it's the same thing, right? And then answer choice E has an OG or a GO. Okay, that's fine. That's great. Okay, next rule. I think the next easiest one to tackle is this first one right here, is that H has to come the week before J. Right, so looking at what we have left, answer choice A, J comes in week 1, can't ever have that, right? I guess we should even put that up here to be absolutely sure, because H has to come in a week before it, so no way. How about answer choice B? H comes in week 1, J comes in week 2, that's fine. How about answer choice E? J comes in week 2, but H is not in week 1. H is actually right next to it, so that's also not right. So answer choice B is our answer here, and thankfully we didn't have to go through this second rule, which I'm sure would have been much more, I guess, thought-provoking. Okay, how about question 19? Which of the following is a pair of products that cannot be advertised during the same week as each other? So here is where we start to make use of our sort of our information. So we have rules for HJ, O, G, and K, which means that L and M are free to pretty much do whatever they want, right? So if you write out these answer choices, right? H and K, H and M, J and O, K and L, L and M, immediately what you find is, look, we have M, we have L, we have L, and M together, right? This one is doubly. Like these immediately just aren't going to be right, because there's no reason that this can't happen, right? Like M can just do whatever it wants, L can do whatever it wants. So immediately that puts me on guard as far as those answer choices, right? Okay, so answer choice A, that's just what can't be advertised the other they're in the same week. So I mean, answer choice A I think is pretty clearly it could be just H and K, right? You satisfy your rule that K is in either 1 or 2 by putting them together. That's not right. Answer choice B, H and M, why not, right? Because M can do whatever it wants. Forget it. Answer choice C, J and O. Oh, here we have a little bit of an issue, because see, remember here previously when J and O were together in 3, there was no room for the G, and you know that O's got to be in this 3rd slot. So anytime you have J and O, it's got to be in this 3rd slot, right? And we know for a fact, we figured out previously that couldn't ever happen. So answer choice C has to be the correct answer, right? And you see that it maps directly onto this this idea of the possibility that we eliminated, right? If you didn't see that answer, that method before this question forces you to make that inference. It forces you to come to that conclusion, right? Answer choice D just doesn't have to be true. K and L can go wherever, right? K can just be the one that repeats, and L can be next to it, right? And L and M, same thing. Maybe they're just in 4. There's no reason that they can't, right? Because these 3 are floaters, right? So answer choice C is the correct answer here. How about 20? Which of the following must be advertised during week 2? Well, we know the answer to that. It's J, right? Which one is that? It's answer choice B. Right? And once again, what we can do is we can eliminate C, D, and E, right? C because K has to be in either 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be in 1. There's no way. L and M are both floaters, right? So we have absolutely no clue what they have to do. And then so really just the choice is between G and J, except that, like given that we've already filled out our chart here, we know that J, no matter what, has to be in slot 2. So that's question 20. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff. Start fresh with question 21. Okay, question 21. Which of the following cannot be the product that is advertised during 2 of the weeks? We figured this one out as well, right? This rule tells us that, over here, right, if we advertise G twice, that means that either J or O's got to be twice. O can't go twice, so J must be, right? And then if you put G and J somewhere else, that means that H also comes along with it, right? Which means that you don't have enough space. So the answer to this question is G. Which one is that? It's answer choice A. Right? It's just this very, once again, if you did your work up front, this question is very easy because all you have to do is look at this third scenario to figure it out. If you didn't do it up front, then you will go through a ton of pain to try to figure out that that's the answer. And if you don't end up seeing it that way, at the very least, again, you can eliminate answer choice D and answer choice E because they're floaters. They can do whatever they want, right? And so at that point, at the very least, you're down to 3 answer choices: G, H, and K. And then how you choose to evaluate that is up to you. But this is just the correct way, right? You do this work up front, and that saved you a lot of time on question 21. How about question 22? If L is the product that is advertised during 2 of the weeks, which of the following is a product that must be advertised during 1 of the weeks in which L is advertised? Okay, so G, H, J, K, L, L, M, and O. This is our list of elements, right? So we make our chart here, and so we've taken care of H, taken care of J, taken care of O, right? So what's going on? How do we begin to approach this? Well, we know that K has got to go in either one of these guys. And we know there's only one K now, right? So we can actually split this into scenarios as well. Either HJO with the K up here, or HJO with a K down here. Okay, well, we know there's only one J, right? So the next element that we have to place is G, right? In this case, G can go anywhere. Either here or here, so that's fine. But in this case, G can only go over here. So that's good, right? That means we've taken care of G here, we've taken care of K here, which means that L, right? Our stimulus tells us that a different pair of these products, not that line, the line after it, exactly one of the products will be a member of 2 of those 4 pairs, and a different pair of products is advertised every week, which means that you can't put L and L together, right? Which means that it must be L, and then M has to go here, right? Okay, so since they're asking us which of the following is a product that must be advertised during 1 of the weeks that L is advertised, you're down immediately to either H or M, right? And so one of those 2 things has to be paired with L over here, right? Except that over here, H can't be paired with L. H is paired with K, right? So if you have your L down here, and we have 2 L's, right? So it's got to be the case that one of them's down here. Then where's M? Like M, and then M and L, right? That works. How does that work? It works if you put the second L here, and then G here, right? Because you have to, again, make this block, or you can even reverse these. It actually kind of doesn't matter, right? But the point is that you have this L and M over here, you have this L and M over here, and that's the only 2 things that these 2 situations have to have in common, right? And so that is what? What is paired with L is M. That is answer choice E. 23. Which of the following is a product that can be advertised any of the 4 weeks? This one is just really easy because A, B, C, and E are just not floaters. Answer choice D is a floater. It's correct, right? Like, we know for sure that H isn't it, we know for sure J isn't it, we know for sure O isn't it, and we know that K is restricted to 1 and 2. So we know that it's just answer choice D, even by process of elimination, if you want to approach it that way. Okay, last question. Which of the following is a pair of products that will be advertised the same week as each other? Okay, so let's go ahead and write these out and take a look. So answer choice A is G and H and J, H and O, K and O, M and O. And so immediately, once again, I like this answer choice because M can basically do whatever it wants, right? But let's try to eliminate. So this one is clearly runs afoul of our rule that G must be paired with either J or O. So that's fine. How about H and J? H and J can't because they're in this relationship, right? So it clearly violates rule number 1. How about H and O? Well, H and O was paired over here, right? Because we know O is in 3, so H has to be here, and we figured out that that means that G has to come twice, which means that all kinds of shenanigans happen. And so once again, again, C is not correct. Again, you save a ton of time by doing this work ahead of time. Although, in this case, if you didn't do it ahead of time, then you would have been forced to do it in an earlier question. I believe it was question 20 or question 21. I think it was 21. Okay. How about answer choice D, K and O? Well, K has got to be over here in 1 or 2, and O's got to be in 3, so there's no way they can ever be together, right? Which means leaves by default answer choice E, M and O. M can do whatever it wants, and then the rest of it just kind of falls into place, right? Okay, and so E is the answer to question 24, and that's all the questions in this game.